Today we're going to look at doing some operations with matrices. So we're going to learn how to add, subtract, and multiply matrices. As it turns out, we won't have a form of division, but we'll have to come up with something that will allow us to do similar types of processes. And that'll be in a different lesson. And we're also going to look at some different forms for matrices, the vector forms for those types of things as well. So let's get into the addition and subtraction of these matrices, and this is a fairly straightforward process. If you can add numbers, you can pretty much add matrices. It works pretty much like your intuition would tell you. So let's go ahead and look at an example here. And we'll do this. We'll take 1, 4, 2, negative 3, 0, 3, and we'll add it to another matrix, 3, 1, 0, 5, 1, negative 2. And the way we add these things is to just add the corresponding elements within the matrix. So we can add position 1, 1 together in each one of these, and we end up with 4. And position 1, 2, add those two elements together, and we get 5, and so on. So just adding the corresponding elements across, we would get 2. And for the bottom row, adding those corresponding elements, we would have 2, 1, and 1. And that's our new matrix. So that's how we go about this process of adding matrices. Subtraction works the same. We could actually subtract these same two matrices. The only idea maybe that's a little different is that sometimes it's a little tough to work with all the double negatives if you have a lot. So instead of subtracting matrices, sometimes I'll just say add the opposite. And in this case, we could change this to plus and negate everything on the inside, and then just go ahead and add those resulting elements, and that makes the subtraction go a little bit easier. So here, the result of the subtraction then would end up being minus 2, 3, 2, and then across the bottom row you would have minus 8, negative 1, and 5. So that would be the subtraction of those two matrices. The one thing that you'll notice when we go through this process is that in order for us to define the addition the way that we are by adding corresponding elements, the two matrices have to have the same size. So that's our only requirement for addition and subtraction. This must have the same dimensions. And I think that makes sense the way that we're defining it. We can also do scalar multiplication. So this will be the next little piece that we do. So for scalar multiplication, you'll remember scalar is just a fancy name for a constant. Here we'll take an example of 3 times the matrix 1, 4, 2. And then negative 3, 0, 3, so that's the same one we were working with before. In this case, we want to triple the matrix, which is the same thing as adding it to itself 3 times. And that just means we're going to multiply each element in the matrix by 3. So we can triple this matrix and get 3, 12, 6, minus 9, 0, and 9. And that's how you multiply a scalar times a matrix. So practice that really quickly below. Should be pretty simple. And then we'll move on to the next.